Chris is joining us for practice today. Does everybody have a block? So if you have a block, what's up, everybody? If you have a block, we're going to start in Virasana. So if you're comfortable sitting on a block, sit on one. It will go wide, either this way or this way. And if you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Just sit comfortably and sit tall. So we'll start with our shins on the ground, our knees reaching straight out from our hips. And then take a moment and just turn your hands to face down. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. And then just take a big inhale through the nose. Let your entire being, let your entire body fill up with your breath. And then just gently sigh out the mouth as you exhale. And then just wiggle the toes. Feel the reach of your toes. Extend away from the drop of your shins. Ground the shins into the floor. Ground your sit bones into the floor. And then again, take a bigger, fuller breath and let your spine get tall. As you relax the shoulders, exhale, let it go out the mouth. And let's just one more time together. Take a bigger, fuller breath in, as if you could climb and lift and elevate your spine all the way up towards the sky. Again, relax the shoulders, soften the neck, and exhale, let it go out the mouth. And just arrive. Arrive on, what is today? Thursday? Is today Thursday? Day 4, day 6, we don't even know. But just take a moment to feel that you are here. And the moment that we connect into our breath and move our body is the moment that we are practicing yoga. And blink your eyes open. Take an inhale, reach your arms straight forward in space, and then interlace your fingers, flip your palms, straighten your elbows as you relax the shoulders. And then take a moment here, breathe more into the back of your ribs. So there's a sense of fullness, and then reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. And then again, notice if you made it a back bend. So again, fill the back ribs. The arms do not need to come up behind the ears. And then just side stretch over to one side. And as you yawn out that side waist, roll the chest up towards the sky. And then inhale, come back up, and let's go over to the other side. So ground into your sit bones evenly, roll the chest open like you're yawning out the day. And then inhale, come back up. Release the hands by your side, and then interlace your fingers behind your back. You're going to keep your hands pressing into your sacrum with your elbows bent. And so as your elbows bend, can you squeeze your elbows together and start to lift your chest a little higher? Just try to draw the elbows towards one another on the back of the body and continue to lift the back of the skull, the back ribs. Feel your sit bones anchor down. And then just bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop the left shoulder down the back. And then inhale, come back up. And drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And feel the weight of that right shoulder blade cascading down the back. And then inhale, come back up. This time as you reach your arms up towards the sky, interlace your fingers behind your head. Relax the shoulders again. Feel the lift of the elbows from your hip points. Full breath in. And then exhale, twist towards the right. Good, a couple breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Feel the press of the shins as you inhale, lift up to the left side of the waist. Exhale, roll the right chest towards a deeper twist. Good, one more. Inhale, get tall, lift. Exhale, twist. And then come back to center as you inhale. Give a little bit more lift up as you breathe in. And then exhale, twist towards the left. And then feel both sides of the waist, especially the right side. Inhale, lift and lengthen. As you relax the shoulders, deepen the twist. Good, and then one more. Inhale, get a little taller, press into the feet. Exhale, deepen the twist. And then slowly unwind. Go ahead and come onto your shins, lifting your torso upright, your hips upright. Reach your arms forward in space, hook your thumbs. Press your feet down into the floor more than you're pushing into your knees. You feel your hamstrings start to engage. And then lift the two hip points up. You'll feel your butt grip a little bit. There's no problem there. Try to release the inner thighs as you do that. Keep your low back long, and then press into your feet and start to hinge your hips back. So all you're doing is bending your knees, and you can see one long line from crown of head, through shoulders, through hips. Relax the shoulders, see if you can hinge back just a little bit more. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come back up. We'll just do that a couple more times. As you inhale, hinge at your knees, reach the chest back. And then push into your feet as you exhale, come back up. Beautiful. Again, inhale, hinging a little bit deeper each time. And press to come back up. Just 2 more, you guys. See if you can't find your edge. Hinging back. And press back up. You guys are going really fast today. Slow the last one down. We'll hold here for 5 breaths. Hinge back and breathe. So once you find that edge, press into your feet a little bit more. Start to draw the frontal hip points up. As you take a big inhale, breathe across the back of your ribs. Last 2 breaths. Can you hinge back? 1 more breath in. And then press all the way up. Beautiful, you guys. Come onto your hands and knees. And then sometimes it's nice while you're here just to straighten one leg back and just reach through the heel, stretch through the toes, breathe behind the knee. And then switch sides, step the other leg back. And then come into plank pose, step both feet back. Press into the 2 feet, and then work your legs to just as strong and active as your hands. So as you press into the feet, can you lift the thighs a little higher? And find that same lifting of your 2 hip points, tailbone heavier. Yeah, Jesse, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels as you lift the back ribs more. Take a full breath here. And then send your hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. As you arrive in downward dog, rise high up onto your toes. Swivel your heels over to one side, the toes to the other. Sorry, everybody who's just joining us. You gotta love new technical difficulties. Welcome, everybody. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And then rise high up onto your toes if you haven't already. Swivel your heels over to one side, the toes to the other. Just yawn out your side body. Inhale, rise back up. Swivel it over to the other side. And then inhale, rise back up. Get really high up onto the balls of the feet. Bend one knee, reach the other heel to the floor. Take a breath behind your straight leg. Whichever leg is bent, push that thigh further back. Aurora, lengthen the back of the neck. Drop your head. Thank you. Inhale, rise back up onto your toes. Exhale, switch sides. And so whichever knee is bent, just push that thigh way back. And then inhale, rise high up onto the balls of both feet. Bend your knees a lot. Get your heels to lift super, super high. Push your hips way back over your heels. Get lower, lift your chest higher, and downward facing dog, exhale. And then take your feet as wide as the mat. Walk your hands all the way back to meet your feet. Grab a hold of your elbows or interlace your fingers. Put a nice bend into your knees and really feel the weight of your head dropping. Switch the cross of the elbows or the lace of the fingers. And then release the hands down to the floor. Go ahead and drop your head, drop your shoulders. Heel toe your feet so they're a little bit more classically hip distance apart. Reach the chest forward as you inhale. Stay on your fingertips, you guys. Walk your hands halfway forward to your downward facing dog. Stay there. And then, thank you, Anthony. Push your thighs back a little bit more. Beautiful. And as you push your thighs back, see if you can't put a little bend into your knees. Keep your hips reaching to the wall behind you and drive your heels down. Good. Now keep your legs as active and walk your hands even further forward to your downward dog. And then challenge yourself and walk your hands a little further forward. Beautiful. Shift forward into your plank as you inhale. And then exhale, pull your hips back to downward facing dog. I'm just gonna do a couple on the breath. Slide forward into plank as you inhale. Shoulders open, collarbones wide. Firm the arms to straight. And exhale back to dog. Good, and just one more. Inhale, we shift forward. Beautiful, you guys, pause here, continue to breathe. Can you open up the collarbones, reach the shoulders, yes, back, and then reach through the heels. Give a strong lift up through the roots of your thighs. Nice, Angela. Take a big inhale here. Shift forward, you guys, lower chaturanga. Pause it if you can. Keep the strength of the legs. Good, Julia, and all the way down to the floor. Point your toes. Walk your hands back so your wrists are under your elbows. Press into your feet. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, lower back down. Good, make your feet anchored more than your hands. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. So let the reach of the chest lift the gaze. Can you keep the shoulders up as you lower back down? Exhale. And one more like that. Inhale, hands press, feet press. Coil the chest forward. Beautiful, stay here. Hug the elbows in if you can. Come onto your fingertips. Notice that height it gives you. And then try walking your hands back 1 more inch. And then could you stay on your fingertips, that cupping action, and then lift your hands 1 inch off the floor? Draw the lowest part of your navel up, press the pubic bone and hip points down, and maybe if it's enough, you stay, or you reach the legs so far back they lift. Sophia, try to lift your shoulders a little higher. Good. Try to slide your hands back, everybody, 1 more inch. Beautiful. Last breath in. And lower all the way down. Nice job. Curl your toes under, your choice. Knees down or up. Press to your plank pose. And send your thighs back to downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. When you're ready, go ahead and rise high up onto your toes. As you rise up onto your toes, can you still send your hips back? And then tiptoe your feet all the way forward to meet your hands. As we inhale, reach the chest forward. Heels down to the floor as you fold. Exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold. Hands to your hips, little bend into your knees, press into your heels. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale at the top. Standing tall at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Go ahead and lift the chest, maybe even the gaze. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. Use the inhale, open, lengthen the front of your spine. Plant your hands fully flat, step to your plank. Exhale, shift forward and lower. Baby cobra or the up dog. As you inhale, can you press into the feet just as much as the hands? Come to plank pose. Feel your plank. And downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful, you guys. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep sending the thighs way back. Take a full breath in as you bend your knees deeper. Look forward. Step or hop to the top. We open as we inhale. We fold as we exhale. Rise it all the way up to standing. Inhaling, ground through the legs. So feel the back ribs feel taller, tailbone heavy. And bring it into your heart. Exhale. Good. Again together. Inhale, arms reach up. Hinge and fold forward, exhaling. Try to keep the hips right over the heels. Let your front spine lengthen as you inhale. Plant your hands fully flat. Step to your plank, opposite leg. Chest stays open. Shift forward as you lower. Shoulders pull back, elbows reach back. Baby cobra or the up dog. Press feet down, lift. Lift out of the arms, lift out of the legs. Come back to your plank pose, full breath in. and downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. Take a moment here and then just hover your right foot an inch off the floor, keeping your right heel in line with your left heel. Notice that it's the root of your thigh that pulls back a little bit more. You're gonna keep this as you inhale, shift forward into plank pose. There's a feeling that your toes are pressing down into something that will rebound the right waist higher. These look great, you guys. All you're gonna do is bend your right knee so the heel lifts towards the sky. Yep. And to the degree that you can kick your right foot up towards the sky, notice when your low back does the work for you. So against that, I want you to really work your frontal hip points, pulling towards your navel. These look awesome. Feel the weight of your hips while your thighs tries to lift. And then bring your right knee in to touch your nose, round your spine, lift a little higher. Beautiful. Shift your shoulders forward, and then step the foot between the hands. You're gonna lower your left knee down to the mat, point your toes, and then inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. A couple breaths for today. Try to get your pelvis as upright as possible over your back knee. And then push your left foot more into the floor again than your back knee. And as you press your left foot into the floor, work to try to bring your left knee forward in space, like it's sliding on the mat. And then against that, can you lift your left hip point up, almost feeling a sense of tucking, but keep pulling the left thigh forward. Do you guys get a nice stretch? And then with your right hand, grab a hold of your left wrist and side stretch over towards the right. Notice when you side stretch to the right, can you still press the left foot into the floor, pull the left knee forward, and lift the left hip point up. And then inhale, release that. Hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat. Take an inhale here, and then straighten your front leg, exhale. Feel free to flex that right foot if you'd like, keeping a soft bend into that front knee. Keep driving the right thigh deeper into the hip socket as you pull your chest forward. Let your spine open. And then bending your front leg as you inhale. Plant your hands fully flat. Make your back leg strong. Make your back leg active. Step to your plank. And vinyasa or dog, it's totally up to you as you exhale. And then as you arrive in dog, take an inhale and just hover your left foot an inch off the floor. Shift forward into your three-legged plank pose. Notice when you shift forward how the tailbone anchors, the left side of the waist lifts. Can you also fill the bottom ribs here? And then keeping your left knee where it is, just bend the leg so the heel reaches towards the sky. Notice when your low back wants to take over. So try to kick the left leg high while lifting the frontal hip points at the same time. So true hip extension without lumbar extension. Pull your chest forward and then bring your left knee in, round the spine, push the floor away. Step the foot forward between your hands. Beautiful, you guys. Lower your right knee down. Use your inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And so for today, just be as upright as you possibly can. So maybe you shift your hips back so that you're working that right knee just underneath the right thigh. Then push into your right foot a little bit more than you have into the knee. Notice that. Hi, Patty. Then try to scrub your right knee forward as you lift your hip points up. And then take that left hand to your right wrist all the way over towards the left. And as you take the stretch to the left, keep working right foot down, dragging right knee forward, and lifting and scooping that right hip all the way up to the fingertips. And then inhale, come all the way back up, hands down to the floor. Lift your back knee up off the mat, straighten your front leg, exhale. Notice to the degree that your leg gets straight, how it starts to round your spine. Can you open up the front body while opening up the back body? One more full breath here. Bend your front leg, shift forward, plant your hands fully flat. Make your right leg strong, and then gently step to plank. Exhale, shift forward, lower chaturanga. Into your back bend, feet press, chest opens. And downward facing dog, exhale. And take it one breath here as you inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. Come back into that low lunge. Lower your back knee to the earth. This time, curl your back toes under. Bring your 2 hands to your front knee. Stay low with your chest. And try to pull your front knee back to the wall behind you. Notice how that gives you access to your back foot. Then coil and lift the 2 hip points and lift your torso upright. As you push the right knee away, feel the scooping of the front body. Bring your 2 hands to your hips. Keep the hip points lifting. Press into your 2 feet and hover your back knee just an inch. And breathe. I'm in it with you. Hug the ankles, hug the knees. Keep your back knee, just like low lunge, moving forward. Keep your front knee moving back. Add the arms if you like. You have 2 more breaths. Now try to stay this low in your front leg and lift your back leg to straight. 1 more inhale, full crescent pose. Reach the gaze up, lift the chest up. And then release, hands down. We're gonna take it into the twist. So you can lower the left knee or not, right arm towards the sky. Keep hugging that right knee in, a little bit more, Heidi. Pull the right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Lean onto that left shoulder blade and roll the left chest up towards the sky. Beautiful. 2 hands to the floor. Step to your plank. And again, however you want to get to dog. Left leg lifts as you inhale. Use your exhale. Step the foot forward between your hands. Lower your back knee down to the floor. This time you'll keep the toes curled under of the back foot. Stay low as you bring your 2 hands to your front knee. Nice, Audrey. Stay low, you guys. Pull that front knee back. So you're trying to move the left knee back into the hip socket. Do you feel that? And then press into your right foot a little bit more. Stay low as you start to lift your torso upright. Good. And notice, was it the chest that lifted? Could you find the lift from the frontal hip points, the lowest part of your belly? Then start to hug your 2 feet together here. Bring your 2 hands to your hips as you take a big inhale. Press into your back foot and hover your back knee an inch. Notice your back leg, the heel's trying to move forward, the knee trying to move forward. Your right hand can actively lift the right hip up a little higher. As you drive, big toe of your front foot down into the floor. Feel free to reach the arms forward, hook the thumbs, and carry those straight arms up towards the sky. Angela, sit a little lower into that back leg. Lift the chest a lot higher. You guys, these look great. Now stamp into your front heel and work to lift the back leg straight, lifting up through the spine. 1 more breath in, lift the gaze maybe. And then release, hands down to the floor. Step to your plank. We'll all meet up in downward dog vinyasa. Oh, thank you, the twist. Thanks, Heidi. Step your left leg forward, you guys. And then take it into the twist. There's this sweet relationship in a moment of social distancing where your right ribs and your left leg want to come together. See if you can't allow that to happen versus moving away from each other. Gather the entire outer body into the midline. And now we release that left hand down, however you want to get to downward facing dog. Full breath in, long breath out. Good, send your hips way back, you guys. Rise high up onto your toes. As you bend your knees, look between your hands. Step or hop to the top. We open to lengthen. We fold to exhale. Sit down into your chair, Utkatasana. You know we're gonna be here just a little bit longer. Janine, sit lower. And as you push your heels into the floor, feel that heel pressing into the earth, and then see if you can't connect. As the heels drop down, they're trying to slide back like you're on a conveyor belt. Then send your sit bones down so your hamstrings are alive, to lift the pelvis up, to lift the chest up, and to lengthen through the side waist. Take 1 more breath, sit back and down, and press all the way up to stand, and bring it into your heart. Surya Namaskara B, just 1. Inhale, reach the arms up as you bend your knees into your chair. Hands to the floor and we fold, exhale. Open as we inhale, let the chest stay open as you step or jump, chaturanga. Into your back bend as you inhale. Can you lift away from the earth? Spread and rise. And downward facing dog, exhale. Without the leg lift, step the right foot forward, spin the back heel down, rise to your warrior one. We'll be here for a few breaths. Everybody reach your left arm forward in space. And then swing your right arm out to the right side of your room. And then start to twist towards the right. And as you start to twist towards the right, let it come from the front leg sitting a little lower, the front thigh pulling back, and notice that back heel. Drive the left heel into the floor as you firm the back leg straighter. And as you roll with the arms, notice how the spine starts to become involved. Draw the lowest part of the belly up as you lengthen through the back body. Can you twist one more inch? Beautiful. Now keep the left arm where it is. Bring your right arm to meet your left, and inhale, carry those straight arms up towards the sky. And exhale, release. Hands down to the mat, step to your plank. However you'd like to get to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, spin the back heel down. Use your inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale at the top. As you relax the toes, feel the 2 feet anchor into the earth. That same feeling of hugging your knees in together. And then reach your right arm forward in space. Notice how it starts to pull your right ribs with you. Take your left arm off to the left side of the room. Palm can face up. And then start to just twist. Lead with the left arm. Pull with the right. Relax the shoulders. And notice when you start to deepen the twist how much the shoulders want to help. Then can you incorporate a little bit more of the intrinsic muscles. Try to sit a little lower into that front thigh. Aurora. Last 2 breaths, you guys. Lift higher through the right ribs as you pull back into the twist with the left shoulder. Now keep your right arm where it is. Swing your left arm forward to meet your right. Carry both arms to the sky. Inhale, sit low, back leg strong and straight. Beautiful work. And then release. Hands down to the mat. Step to your plank. Cleanse that out for sure. Lower. Smile as you inhale. Pull back as you exhale. And then everybody go ahead and come onto your hands and knees, and you're actually going to drop to your forearms. You can interlace your fingers. Bring your knees all the way together. Bring your feet all the way together. And then so you're in a modified forearm plank. So walk your knees back as much as you need to. And rather than sticking your butt up towards the sky, anchor the 2 hip points up. So it's already core work. Work to lift the hip points. I'm shaking. I hope you are too. And then keep drawing the low belly up so your hip points are scooping. Straighten your right leg. Keep the foot on the floor. Keep working the hip points up. And then without taking your low back into effect, can you lift your right leg up off the floor without your lumbar spine doing any of the work? Keep lifting up through the right side of the waist. It's not a big movement. It's really about how much extension do we have from our hip, again, versus using our low back. And then place that right foot down. Bend both knees. Knees are together. Re-scoop, re-lift the hip points. So again, it feels like tucking because you're going against gravity. Step your left leg back, stay on the toes. Rework your hip points up again. You'll have to work the left side of your waist higher, beautiful. And then try to extend the left leg up off the floor. Does anyone else find this challenging? One more breath in. Good, and then lower your left knee down, lower into Sphinx. We'll have to do it one more time. Take an inhale. I know, I'm sorry, Janine. And exhale. Good, and then you guys come back into your modified forearm plank. I said modified, and you're like, oh, it should be easier? How are we doing, Ashley, okay? So curl your toes under, you'll keep your knees on the floor, lift your hips. Pull your chest forward, and as you press your hands into the mat, can you pull your elbows back? Very similar to the low lunge with the legs. Knees stay down, hip points active. Go ahead and scoop, really scoop the pelvis. Straighten your right leg as you inhale. So really it's hamstring and glute work and core work. And then extend the right leg up off the floor. So it probably for many of us won't be that high. And if it is, ask yourself, am I using my low back? Whitney, come back into it. Lower your right knee down. Beautiful, you guys. Drop both knees, keep the pelvis up. Curl, lift the low belly, and then extend your left leg back. Re-lift up to the left side of the waist. Is this your harder side? And then extend from the strength of your hamstring and your glutes, left leg off the floor. Beautiful, last two. Keep lifting up to the left side of the waist. Heidi, shift forward a little bit more. Yep. Lower your left knee down. Everybody come into Sphinx pose. Good. Walk your hands back, upward facing dog as you inhale. Shoulder heads way back. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Right leg lifts as you inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward between your hands. We're gonna rise to your crescent pose. Inhale. Stay really active on the toes of the back foot, so lift your heel up. So as if you could really lift the heel, the back knee, elevate the lift of your back thigh. And then spin the back heel down. Let's open up to warrior two. We're just passing through today. Adjust your feet. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, shift forward into Trikonasana. I've been craving a Trico, so I thought some of you might be as well. Take as much of a long dance or a stance as you'd like. Back foot, would you turn the toes in ever so slightly more than you usually do? Does that give you a little bit more release through the back thigh? And when you find that, can you lengthen through the right side of the waist? Pull the right ribs away from the back leg. These look beautiful, you guys. Continue to hug the right thigh in. Roll the chest up towards the sky. Make sure that right shoulder is on the back body. And then look down. Go ahead and shift forward, come into your half moon. And then put enough of a bend into your standing knee so that you can track the knee forward, the outer right thigh wrapping towards your lifted leg. And then bring your left hand to your left hip point. We're just gonna mimic what we did on our lifted leg, just what we did on the floor and forearm plank. So use your hands to scoop the frontal hip points towards your navel. Feel that. And then keeping your left knee where it is in space, can you contract just your hamstring and bring your left heel to your left butt? And then, like you could kick your left knee back to the wall behind you, work to lift your hip points up against that. So you're not using your low back to create extension. And then check back in with your standing leg. Can you roll the right thigh in as you stand more into the heel? Reach the top arm up towards the sky, and then reach that top arm behind you, and maybe you grab the foot for full Chapasana. And just ask yourself as you go deeper into the shape, how much is actually coming from the lumbar spine? Could you include the thoracic spine? Could you find the reach of the hamstring as you hug the standing leg in? Release the foot with control, you guys. Everybody gather your front body in. Top arm towards the sky. Take a big inhale. We're gonna go slower than you want. Start to bend your standing leg, or you'll meet us in Trico. Slow, slow, slow. Lifted leg higher, higher, higher. Beautiful. Then step way back and find your Trikonasana. Good. 2 feet on the floor. Take a full breath in. And then just release your left hand down to the mat. Spin onto the toes of the back foot. Take a moment here. And then bend your front leg. And let's take it into the twist. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. So second time, this time we're setting up for Vashisthasana. So spin onto the outside edge of your back foot. Readjust the upper body, and then step your right foot to meet your left. 2 shoulders on the back. Use the left shoulder blade to roll the right chest all the way up towards the sky. Use the top arm not to throw back, but to reach higher. Beautiful. Last breath in. Come to your plank pose. Feel your plank, feel your center. And however you want to get to downward facing dog. Left leg lifts as you inhale. Use your exhale, step the foot forward between your hands. Rise it to your crescent pose. Stay on the toes of the back foot. Full bend into your front leg. Sit down with the root of the front thigh. Let your hips get heavy. Yes, beautiful, you guys. Awesome, Angela. And then to the degree that you sit low into the front leg, can you work your back heel, your back knee? So there's strength and power through the back side of your body. Like you could firm and suck the hamstring back leg all the way up to the spine. And then from that place, back heel spins down. We open it up to Warrior Two. We're just passing through Virabhadrasana 2 as you inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, shift forward into your Trikonasana. Check into that front knee. Notice if it's gone past straight. There's a feeling of moving your calf forward, driving the right thigh bone back. Roll the chest all the way up towards the sky. And again, maybe spinning your back heel further away from you. Notice that release it has through the inner back thigh and the length you get through the left side of the waist. These look awesome, you guys. Go ahead and look down. Start to bend your front leg as you shift forward into your half moon. It's a balance pose for sure. And I would be lying to you guys if I said that I am totally feeling in control of my life right now. So adding balance is just a challenge, and laugh versus anything. Bring your top hand to your hip. Use your fingertips to kind of buckle that top hip all the way up towards your navel. So you're not resting on your standing leg, but there's a sense of lift. And as you do that, keep reaching back through that right leg. Try to keep your knee where it is in space and just use the hamstrings to bend that lifted leg, reach the heel back. Notice how your butt follows. So start to pull the tailbone towards the wall you're facing. Lift your chest towards the sky, and can you kick the leg further back as you do that? Reach the top arm up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing your left thigh to the wall that you're facing against the leg moving back, and find your half moon with the Chapasana variation. I think there's something so beautiful about the practice of yoga is that it's a practice. And so when we fall out of things, we come right back into it. And there's a sense of breath. There's a sense of focus that we gain from this with so much more. Roll the chest open, lean the heart back. And then release the foot with control. I love all of you guys just falling and laughing. Lift your tailbone towards the lifted leg. Lift the sides of the waist up. Beautiful. Now bend your standing leg a lot. How slow and low can you go? Audrey, pull left thigh in. Thank you. Step way back to your Trikonasana. Feel your 2 feet on the floor. And then release. Right hand to the mat. Spin onto the toes of the back foot. This time take a moment to pause as you take it back into the twist. Left arm towards the sky. Drive the right shoulder on the back body, you know where we're going. Lean back into the power of your right leg as you hug your left knee in, even more. Beautiful. Then spin onto the outside edge of your back foot, step Vashisthasana. Work your tailbone, pips pushing to the wall you're facing, and your ribs moving to the wall behind you. So you're putting yourself in this tight little front and back body package. And then slowly come back to plank pose. And however you want to get to downward facing dog is the exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Shift yourself forward into plank. So your feet are wide in your plank pose. You can even take your hands a little bit wider if you need to. Try to feel the weight of your hips heavy. So if I were to put a block on your hips, it wouldn't roll right to left. Come onto your right fingertips. Keep rolling your left waist higher as you stand more into your right foot. So feel your left hand, right foot connection. Then start to walk your right hand forward. It might lift up off the floor. Reach to the right fingertips, and you might lift your left waist up and hover your left leg back. Keep the left waist lifting, shoulder stack right over that left arm. One more breath in, and place it all back down to the floor. Feel your 2 hands, your 2 feet. Take a big inhale. Come back to your wide-legged plank already. Come onto your left fingertips. Notice how the hips twist. So lift up through the right side of the waist for stability. Walk your left hand forward. Beautiful. Extend the left arm up, maybe. Press into your right hand and your left foot, and maybe that right leg reaches back. Beautiful, Julia. One more breath. Go for length. Extend away. Hi, Casey. Nice, you guys. Hands down and downward facing dog. Exhale. Beautiful. Take a big inhale. Bend your knees. Look forward and spring to the top. Open as we inhale and fold as we exhale. Chair pose as we bend the knees. Utkatasana. Hinge back a little bit more. Feel the power of your back legs, and then press all the way up to stand and bring it into your heart. Have your feet so they're hip distance apart. All you're gonna do is bend your right knee with your right hand and take your left hand to your right hip point. Is this okay on your knee? And then notice, if you're like all of us, how the right knee comes forward. So try to release the right knee straight down, and with your left hand at your right hip, can you lift your right hip up against that? So you feel that stretch. You're just ironing out the sticky stuff in the front of your right leg. And keep getting long through the right side of the waist. It's like suspenders. And then take a moment, start to find the hamstring of your right leg, and bring your 2 hands to your hips. Woo! Use your fingertips, lift your hip points up, and can you start to kick your right leg back a little more? Start to kick the right toes towards the sky. Notice how the chest wants to come forward. Lift the chest to the ceiling, lift your hips towards the ceiling, and then swing your right leg forward, flex through the right foot, and exhale, release the right leg down. Second side, left hand grabs a hold of the left leg. Take your right hand to your left hip. Feel the drop of your left knee, and against that, start to work lifting your left hip up a little higher. So all you're doing right now is just ironing out the left side of the front body. Start to lift your back ribs up a little taller as you relax the shoulders. Can you hug your standing leg in? Good. Then start to contract the hamstring. Bring 2 hands to your hips. You'll lose a little bit of it, and then use your fingers, lift your hip points higher. As you keep your hip points where they are, try not to shift forward with your chest. Start to kick your left leg back and up. Back and up, back and up. Toes maybe try to reach towards the sky, chest towards the sky. One more breath in. And swing your left leg forward, straighten your left leg, kick it forward, flex through the foot. And then slowly release. Good. This time reach your arms up towards the sky. And all you're gonna do is just bring your palms together. Bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your head. So your fingers are facing down, but you can feel the head leaning into the hands. Lift your elbows up. Good. And then if you're like me, you made it a back bend, so draw the hip points up. Bend your right leg. Start to reach the right toes up towards the sky. Start to reach your fingertips down towards those right toes, and you're coming into King Dancer, opening up the chest towards the ceiling. Elbows reaching back, toes towards the sky. Maybe those hands go back to touch the feet. Maybe the feet goes up to touch the hands. How much opening do you have? Awesome, Aurora. Beautiful, you guys. One more. Go for it. And then release. Whew. Straighten out the arms. Give it a little wiggle or a waggle. Shake it out. Second side. Reach your arms up towards the sky. And then just bring your palms together, bend your elbows, hands behind your head, and just lean your head into your hands. Notice how that starts to open up the chest. Kick your left leg back. Hamstring's already awake, I can assume. And then just start to lean the chest back, lift the left leg up. This side you may or may not have more movement. So now you're including the entire back body, firming, strengthening to open up the front body. Play with it. Go for it. Open it. One more breath in, reach back. Okay, and then release. Top of the mat, Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Use the inhale, open. Find your way to downward dog. So you can step back, you can Bakasana back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. And then go ahead and jump yourself through, come onto your backs. So we're gonna set up for bridge pose. So as you ground your 2 feet into the floor, for this first round, hold on to the edges of your mat. And as you hold on to the edges of the mat, pull the mat apart. When you're ready, press into your 2 feet and inhale, lift your spine up off the floor. Beautiful. And then flex your feet. Lift the toes and the balls of the feet up even. Yeah. Notice what turns on. Notice the hamstrings turning on a little bit, hopefully. Can you keep the hamstrings awake as you lower your toes back down to the floor? And then walk your feet all the way together and bring your knees together. So this is very similar to everything we've been doing. Keeping the heels heavy, lift your hips a little higher. And then keep your knees glued, straighten your right leg forward in space. So rather than your toes going up towards the ceiling, could you reach your toes straight forward and work to lift your right waist and your right thigh higher? Notice how you have to ground into your left heel more as you hug your left hip in. Lower your right foot down, feet glued together. Take an inhale, reset the hips, lift a little higher, and then extend your left leg forward. So keep working the hip points curling, keep lengthening your tailbone out towards that lifted leg. Not again so much about the foot lifting, but the hips rising. One more breath. And lower all the way down. Take a breath with 2 feet on the floor. And lower hips all the way down to the floor. Nice, you guys. So we're gonna do one more back bend. So you can choose bridge pose. You're totally warmed up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. You can also take that block and do supported bridge. Hi, Ann. 2 feet on the floor. And then when you're ready, come into your bridge pose, your Urdhva Dhanurasana. Wherever you are, try rising up onto the toes this time. And see if you can't walk your feet in a little closer. Beautiful. Now keep your chest this high, your knees this moving towards your chest, and then drive your heels down into the earth. Good. One more breath in, nice and deep. And then lower all the way down. Beautiful, you guys. Everybody will meet in supported bridge. So if you're there, stay there. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Just put your legs up towards the sky. And with your legs lifting towards the ceiling, put a little bend into your knees. Feet to the sky. And with a little bend into your knees, try to find the sense of the natural curve of your low back so that your 2 hip points and your pubic bone are equally lifting towards the ceiling, which might feel like more of an exaggerated curve right now. Could you stay high on the shoulders so that the chest is full and elevated? And take one more breath here. Bend both knees. Take a moment to just pause. Feel the blood, the energy rush back into the soles of the feet. And then gently place both feet to the floor at the same time. And feel the ground. If you're on a block, lift so you're on one flat, low block, and lower your hips back down to the floor. Everybody lift your hips, remove the block fully. And as you lower your hips back down to the mat, take your two hands to where your thighs and your hips meet, and just push your legs away from you so you get a little length through the lumbar spine. Take the feet as wide as the mat as you allow the knees to knock in. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Cross your arms over your chest and give yourself a hug. Allow the weight of the elbows to simply release down into the drop of the chest. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Go ahead and walk your feet so they're more classically hip distance apart. As you inhale, reach your arms about halfway overhead to the wall behind you. And take a moment here as you ground into your 2 feet. Try to keep your arms reaching back, and then exhale, curl the upper body up off the floor. So hips stay down, reach the chest towards the sky, lift the chest up towards the ceiling, and then lower all the way back down. And then again, exhale, curl up, and inhale, lower. Good, one more, exhale, curl up, and inhale, lower. So we're gonna add on. You either stay there or exhale, curl up. Good, if it's too much on your neck, hands behind your head. Inhale, extend your legs 45 degrees. Try to keep your low back flat. Place your feet back down to the floor. Lift your chest a little bit higher. And inhale, lower back down. So we'll do 2 more like that. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, legs extend. The lower the legs, the more challenging it'll be for you, but harder to keep your lumbar spine flat. Feet to the floor, lift a lot higher. And inhale, lower. Last one, you guys. Exhale, curl up. Lift the shoulders. Inhale, extend your legs. Place your feet down to the mat. Lift everything. Lift the chest. Lift the shoulders. And lower all the way down. Beautiful. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll side to side. And then come into happy baby. Feel the weight of your thighs heavy. You can hold on behind your legs or the outside edges of your feet. Try to get your hips heavier than your knees. And then everybody come into thread the needle. Cross the right ankle over your left thigh. Relax the shoulders. Keep your legs as they are. Place your left foot down to the floor. And then all you're going to do is just rotate so that your right foot rolls to the left side of your mat. And then keep your right knee up. And some of you might even take your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot, and pull the right foot a little closer towards your hip. The hips may or may not touch the floor. It's not about that, but a sense of release through the right side of the body. When you're ready, exhale, come back to center. Switch legs, cross left ankle over right thigh. As you hug the right knee in for thread the needle, take a moment to just feel both hips rooted, the shoulders soft. And again, just like happy baby, the weight more in the hips than the knees. Place your right foot to the floor, keep the legs, and just roll your left foot over towards the right. One of the best parts about doing this is I get to see your animals come in and out of your practice. Maybe you take your right hand and grab a hold of that left foot, Pull it a little closer up towards your hips. Exhale, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest, you guys. Take a hold of your hands behind your thighs, so behind the backs of your legs, and then reach your heels straight up towards the sky. And then rather than bringing the legs towards you, just take a moment and just push your legs away from you. As you push the legs away from you, can you reach your heels higher to the sky than your toes? Flex your feet. Pull your pinky toes down just as much as you lift up through the inner heels. Stretch through the entire back of your leg. And then gently, slowly, hug your knees into your chest and extend yourself out into Shavasana. Let your legs drift away. Let your arms tether beside you. Give yourself this moment to truly, truly feel supported. And take a final full breath into the nose. And let it go out the mouth. Rest without effort. Feel free to stay here a little bit longer. As you're ready, when you're ready, you'll bend your knees. And reach those arms all the way up and overhead to the wall behind you. Roll over to one side and press yourself up to a seated position. And as you gently press yourself up, just take a moment to linger in your practice. Feel the effects of moving and breathing. And although we're not in the same room together, it still feels like community. Bring your hands together. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And may there be peace in the world. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.